it reads as, "This morning is pure dreary pandering shite, and why not jazz it up a pinch with her own parody version." Now, I tell you, we didn't have the budget for Gino DeCampo, but I was able to provisionally get a brass and ask her to put foot up her butt. That's dark. But we did find somebody at the very last moment who should be better than Gino DeCampo or Naughty Women shoving fruit up him. Anyway.
He promised me Holly Woolly Bullshitter would be here and I could give her a riding Yamaha has not done yet.
Enough of me babbling on about what the episode is and whatever. We're going to go and tell you some interesting news articles that happened recently. Like American tourists going up Ben Nevis started moaning about the fact there was no McDonald's branches going up Ben Nevis and the fact that they couldn't connect to Wi-Fi. Well, first of all, even getting up Ben Nevis is a logistical challenge at its very, very slightest, might I say. And that's for Wi-Fi. Well, again, if it's hard enough getting so people up Ben Nevis without issue, and of course it just doesn't make sense having Wi-Fi that would actually work up there. And besides, I mean, like, if you're on your Facebook or something and you're walking up Facebook mobile and then another person comes along, bang, collision, and then you'd be moaning, "Oh, there's no hospitals up on Ben Nevis, I'm offended." Ugh. You know what, this is just entitled bullshit at its highest best example. I'm talking about technology things. According to a newspaper, teenage children use TikTok as their main avenue of news. That's scary. That's wild, because, you know, TikTok full of nonsense and children using a website full of nonsense as a reliable news source. That's fucking freaky. A lady who worked Paisley McDonald's and she got sacked is earning easily 50k as an influencer. Now, I've seen this story float around quite a few websites and I've never been wanting to click it because I think it's clickbait, but yeah, the lady did move into influencing and earning quite a lot higher than an average McDonald's worker or a McDonald's manager, really, for that matter. But apparently she's shown behaviours that she's hard to work with. Whether that's the same behaviour that got her sacked, who knows. Entertainment news. Lewis Capaldi got caught or spotted partying recently, and remember about maybe 5 weeks ago he very publicly said he's not doing any music for the while to deal with his mental health. The condition, he believes it's ADHD, that it's the issue. When you seen that thing where he was on a gig and he was stumbling over his words and his fans helped him over the threshold, that more like a panic attack to me. Maybe a wee bit of depression, panic. What I seen that song and the way he was behaving for that song was not actually anything ADHD related. I believe that was more along the lines of he was having a panic. And let's be honest, think about it, if you had like upwards of 50,000 in front of you, would you not panic at one point? Come on, you're not brain dead. Now, it's not very usual for me to be covering all matters of the bus, but McGill's has gained awards recently, and I was quite surprised because of the amount of complaints that go in to McGill's about this and that and the next thing, and about, I would say 60% of the complaints that actually go through to McGill's are absolutely genuine, and of all the complaints that get dealt with through McGill's customer service number, how many people that do they ever hear feedback on? None. So I don't know where these awards are coming from, and I don't know what name these awards are for, but all I can say, LMFAO. Using Tesco's Hershey Scottish sparkling water and Asda's orange juice to make fizzy orange because you love to be controversial as fuck, and also this is how human reproduction happens. C'est la vie. Thug life. For my 12 years of being on YouTube and entertaining you all, YouTube finally recognised the matter and gave me a digital high five and a voucher code for a Greg sausage roll. Excellent way to celebrate, and I better get chowing down this very quickly because I'm actually on my way into work, living for a man and entertaining you all. Thug life. Leaving the Ember bus to go into Dundee railway station because I'm a right dirty traitor Judas cunt. Thug life. A car who is parked into the bus station and sitting on the yellow boxes because it identifies itself as a bus and the sky's the limit. Fuck your conformity. Thug life. A Catano Levante Mark II got a paint job and various other mods to make itself look like the Levante Mark III because who gives a hell about conformity and always upgrading to be the best in life? Thug life. Hey, what is this mad comedy thing about, huh? Well, everyone, don't worry, this is not a dildo. It's a bike pump. And I will pander to the people who like this kind of dick joke carry on, but we better stop before it becomes likeable. Hey, hello there. Yeah, I'm actually trying that novelty thing called comedy. Disney Pixar Cars character, Lightning McQueen, was looking a tad run down one day. Turns out he's a bit tired. Yeah, it's not going to get any better. Now, I know a lot of people, and one type of person I've got to know is a wrestler. I actually know 4 wrestlers, but we'll keep it to the narrative. But ultimately, one day I came off a bus in Govan, was walking down the main street beside the boat manufacturing place, BA, and people were hooting the horn at me. Didn't really understand why, but bear in mind this is 2016 and I had long hair back then, nowadays I'm a baldy fucker, but anyway, just couldn't understand it, and I thought they were maybe honking the horn at my girl's bus that was in the air, but whatever. And one of the cars that were honking the horn and flashing lights came along my side with the window down. Alright, pal, are you on the night? Aye, I'm on the night, I said back sarcastically, and never really thought much else of it. Some places as well, the phrase, are you on the night, is a reference to a prostitute. Are you up for it? You up for a bit of the dick? But this clearly was not the case. And I met a friend, and as we were playing the Xbox, I says to Mike, oh, it was a bit weird coming down here, bloody people asking me that kind of question and flashing lights at me and stuff like that. What's that all about? He says, look at your t-shirt. And I looked at my t-shirt and it was a memorabilia t-shirt for a wrestler. I think wrestler. And I just went, okay. And the next day, as I'm doing the duties around the house, he just heard me say quite loudly, oh my goodness, they people thought I was a wrestler that I met at college years ago. Oh my goodness. But in all true honesty, he and I look totally visually different to each other, and it's a testament to the people that are pumping the horn and flashing the lights that their vision test is somewhat overdue. A lot of people have been going along the bandwagon of, oh, I identify as a unicorn, a cauliflower, a tower, a bus, and all the rest. If a gun was put to my head and I was forced to do this, I identify myself as XYZ, I would identify myself as a ScotRail train, because on a daily basis I am forced to put up with all sorts of shite, abuse, and whatever else, and still I'm up on tracks and rolling along like nothing happened. Dan Wooten has been accused of some pretty serious stuff recently, and one accusation is he was stashing camera and storage equipment at the side of a washing machine. I can't confirm or deny, but I can certainly confirm he's an absolute tool if his washing machine is anything but a JLA washing machine. You know what? Of all the foods I've had up to current day, the one thing that I miss that has been withdrawn is the Findus lasagna. The lasagna was absolutely beautiful. The taste was absolutely great. But the thing I miss the most is my daily dose of ketamine. Fucking not let me have my daily dose of ketamine. Bastards! It's sometimes hard to talk to employers about doing stand-up comedy as a hobby. But it can be easy to a point, and then they turn around and says, what is your best joke? What is your best joke? Make us laugh, make us laugh. And I turn around and says, you really want to laugh? And they're like, yeah. Aye, well, my fucking life, that's the joke. And anyway, folks, that's me off from the stage. Hope you all enjoyed.
There we are. Something Italian.
Oh wow, that looks absolutely amazing. Could I get a small amount of it?
Yes, food's for you.
A wee discussion I want to talk about is of Colin Ballinger and the use of cease and desist notices across the YouTube spectrum. Right, Colin Ballinger is a problematic YouTuber, and apart from trolling her for her fellow YouTubing friends and community, she has doxed people's intimate pictures, like Trisha Paytas, and generally Colleen's behaviour, even from across the pond, me being in Scotland and Colleen being in America, is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I've never quite seen behaviour like that myself. We've also seen Illuminati, only known as a Blair's On. Right, and Illuminati is an anti-MLM producer on YouTube talking about shady businesses. But she falsely, as in Blair, falsely accused an actual legal channel of copying her editing style when it never happened. And from there, that caused a lot of people to come through the woodwork and say Illuminati, also known as Blair, treated them like shite, and it's really grisly. But she got into a position a bit like Colleen Ballinger, where she just started sending cease and desists to anyone who criticised her over the YouTube platform. And Colleen, as I described, started that kind of dodgy way of replying herself. Now, in America, the law industry is fucking massive, much akin to the country. And in the UK, it's obviously quite considerably smaller. And in America, because the law industry is so massive, it's actually a situation where, all you need to do is walk into a law practice, gurgle on for maybe 40 seconds, saying, I don't like that person, I'm offended, blah, 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 right? And you've got to cease and desist going to that person. In the UK, it's not as easy. You've actually got to demonstrate what the issue is, and you've got to have things like time span of issue, how it manifests, who it affects, what have you done before getting to the law practice, all that stuff. You get where I'm going. Basically investigative questions, right? And when it comes to Scots law is different to English law. Anyone who is unknown of it, that's the way things are. Scottish law is different to English law, and it's even tighter. So, you can't just walk in to a lawyer and go, "Oh, I don't like Tommy Tupper. Send him a cease and desist." And what happens is, as previously mentioned, you've actually got to have, demonstrable evidence of problems, and where possible, actually show, maybe things like excerpts from letters, CCTV evidence, voicemail messages, all that stuff. Either that, or your case doesn't even get listened to. And, in my personal experience, I was somebody that was harassing the family about 4 years ago, and we had to get a cease and desist on this person, and it was, you had to gather everything together before you even got speaking to the lawyer, right? So basically, we had to come with a cachet of evidence, and only then that's when things took over. But with America, because our law practices pretty much either at the bottom of your street or on the corner of your street, so many lawyers compared to the UK. You can just go in, I'm offended, blah blah blah, and then it would be sent out no problem from there. But in Scotland it's very, very tight. These things don't get prescribed for nothing. There has been a long course of conduct that has been considered, and the lawyer then has obviously made a decision to send one out if they just don't appear from nowhere, unlike America. From about the COVID years 2020 upwards, it has been pretty shit for one and all, hasn't it? So, to negate some of the bad feeling, I want to inject some good into the matter. One thing I seen very, very recently was the Glasgow to Barrhead rail replacement works were going on. Was a rail replacement, and it was quite genuinely the tit bus. You heard me right, the tit bus. Right? For some odd reason, and I don't know who, was it the garage people? Was it the bus driver put their tit on the front display screen of the bus? It's absolutely fucking hilarious. I was like a cat found catnip when I seen it. I don't know who organised that. I don't know how VOSA would look at it. I don't know the traffic commissioner would look at it, but it did certainly bloody well cheer me up. I mean, it was like, you're so easily amused by me, and I'm like, aye, of course. So another wee bit of nice wee news. Motorbikers are going into, it was Asian villages with their motorbikes, and letting the kids come up to motorbikes and rev the handle, kind of thing. And I thought, yeah, that's really, really cool, and apparently they do this to lift the spirits of the children, because if we think we're going through shit, some of them are going through shit times 100. And when these guys come strolling in to the communities with their motorbikes, big massive 750cc's and whatever else, it gives the kids a form of distraction, a form of, leaving one thing aside and having a bit of happiness. And to be honest, we all need that, whatever incarnation that falls under. I travel a bit, and I was in a place called Partick, and I seen this thing called Firm Banana Truck, and automatically that's innuendo. That sold me like that. And then it has other slogans on that are obviously phallic reference, and so yeah, of course I thought that was funny as well. Something that I felt quite nostalgic when I seen the following meme. Right, it was a mattress folded up in half, but it looked like one of them ice cream treats you get from the ice cream van, and people that are enjoying marijuana can quite often mistake this folded up mattress as an ice cream wafer, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. So, folks, I just want to quickly say thanks for watching, and as I said at the start of the show, it actually is the Fringe special. I call it Fringe at a distance. You know, not everyone that wants to go to the Fringe ends up at the Fringe, either because a lack of availability, the long waits for buses and trains, or parking issues, or children and childcare issues. So, I wanted to give you something somewhat enjoyable to some degree or another, in case you couldn't get to the Fringe. But yeah, my personal opinions about Fringe, if it's with regard to comedy, I would definitely suggest the PBH free Fringe shows. If it's music, there's a lot of acts on the Royal Mile, definitely worth checking. If it's things like ballet, they'll be obviously indoors. Have a word with people in the Fringe office. Myself, to be honest, I don't really know if I'm going to be getting over to the Fringe just due to my work's availability and what I'm doing off work purposes, so I really don't know. But put it that way, if you're going out there, make sure you go out and have a fucking blast, and make sure you do tip the performers, because things, as I've seen on ITV, are nearly twice as pricey now, so every penny that goes into a performer's pocket goes a long way. And as somebody said, each pound coin that comes their way goes to pay the rent for their house. So yeah, definitely 100% just got to consider that as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure with yous, and yeah, I'm going to hopefully try and wedge in a day maybe where I do see some comedy, but it's completely non-promise because of how busy I am. But anywho, I've been talking for far too long. Over and out.